Today I don't have any appointments, I don't think, so it should be a quiet one. So you'll get to see more of the behind the scenes, and I'll also show you some of my tools and some of the things that I work with when I am doing like consultations and readings and whatnot. So yeah, welcome to my day. Good morning wherever you are, and let's get started. Right, so I just came back from lunch. I forgot to take a shot of the food because I'm really not used to doing that. And I was really hungry, so I just dove in. So you probably, as you've seen, you probably only got a few shots of me on my way there, and the restaurant that I went to. So yeah, sorry for that. But because today is a little bit of a quieter day, I thought that I could show you some of the tools that I work with, my collection of crystals, and also my oracle deck collection, which I have here right beside me. One thing I wanted to show you as well are my new glasses. Let me know your thoughts on them. I love them. I wanted something a little bit more quirky and fun, and I did have a source of inspiration, which I'll put somewhere in the screen as well, and then you tell me how did I do regarding my inspo and what I had in mind. So I'm very pleased with them, and actually I got these and some sunglasses as well, so I'll show you right now a little unboxing that I did for you guys. Okay, so now let's start with the crystal collection. Now, one thing I do need to tell you guys before we start is that some of these crystals, I actually don't know their names, so I'm going to show them to you. And this is because usually when I buy them, I buy what I'm attracted to, and I don't necessarily go look for a particular crystal. I mean, for some of them, I did go actively looking for a particular crystal, but not all of them. So usually when something catches my eye or resonates, I just buy them without really considering much what, their names and quote unquote properties. So yeah, if I don't know some of the names of these crystals, please feel free to comment if you do know what their name and what they are for. Usually when I get them, I cleanse them, I activate them, but I do activate them in a way that feels intuitive and meaningful to me. So yeah, I just wanted to leave you guys with that note before, but let's start. And I'll start by showing you this crystal. It is a crystal. This clear quartz, and this one I do know the name, but it's such a beautiful piece. I keep it near my altar, and I really love it just to bring a little bit more peace and light to my environment.
Another one of my favorites, it's this selenite tower, and I usually leave my bracelets on this so that they can be cleansed and cleared at the end of, you know, a day, absorbing energy. So one of my most prized possessions, and actually one of the first crystals I bought. And at the time I had no idea this was selenite and what the purpose was, but I just felt like it really caught my eye, and I felt like it needed to go on my bedside table. And then it turns out that it was actually great, you know, to just keep the environment where you go to rest peaceful, cleared, and protected. It's no longer near my bedside table, it's still my bedroom. I have another selenite crystal now next to on my bedside table, which is actually this one, which I use sometimes for healings as well, and that I use sometimes, you know, if I'm feeling a little bit heavy or I have a little bit of a headache, or you know, when your eyes are tired and you just feel a bit low energy and fatigued. So I put this sort of on my third eye chakra, and it works wonders. Like, it wipes that heaviness away. The other one I want to show you, it's this one. Now, I'm pretty sure this is a quartz, but I'm not sure if you can see, like, it has this these beautiful translucent or kind of like holographic like effects. I'm not sure if you can see that well. Do you see that, like, slightly opal in there? It's really beautiful. I keep it near my altar as well, and I use this crystal a lot for cleansing and clearing, but I'm not too sure. I do feel like this is a quartz, but if it has another more specific name, then please feel free again to leave in the comments. Then the next one I want to show you, it's the tiniest piece of rhodonite, and this is really funny because I bought it for a I bought it for a workshop and for a healing workshop that I had, and I saw that it was kind of shaped as like a tower, or you know, like a wand of sorts, you know, to go like this as you heal. But when it came on, and it was actually pretty cheap, so I should have known. When I got it in the post and I saw like the tiniest thing, like the tiniest piece like this, like, see, it's tiny, and my hands are small. I was a bit like, this is not what I was expecting, but it's so cute that obviously, you know, I kept it, and yeah, it's really special. This is lovely for heart chakra healing, so anything to do with your heart space and love, self-love, giving, receiving love. Next is my moonstone. This is a fairly recent one, but I made a commitment this year to work a little bit more with the moon, so I felt like it was appropriate for me to get something connected to it. Now this one I was very kindly gifted, and I love it. It's so beautiful. It kind of makes me think of rhodonite in a way because it's slightly pink-ish. It's just pretty. I think it's a form of agate, I think so, or how do you pronounce it? Agate, perhaps. I'm not too sure the name of this one, so if you do know, please, again, leave it in the comments. Speaking of agate, this is a moss agate. This one I'm pretty sure of, and it's a recent one as well, and I like it for strength, but it also makes me think of the throat chakra. It's kind of bluish and green, also perhaps connected with the heart chakra, with the heart energetic center. Then I have my lovely dragon. This, I believe it's made of jade. This was bought in an antique shop in Malaysia, so this is secondhand. And I loved it because it's a dragon, and when I bought it, it was the Chinese year of the dragon. I really had to have it. I have a lot of affinity with dragons. Actually, when I guide people on shamanic journeys or when I do soul retrievals, it's always a dragon that shows up to take me on that journey. I'm still yet to uncover, the full history, or the reason why is a dragon is not 100% clear to me yet, but I love them so much, so I have this on my desk to guard me and keep me strong. Then I'm not too sure on this one. I'm not too sure if this is aventurine. Again, let me know in the comments what you think it is, but I use this to channel abundance and prosperity. Now, one of my favorite ones, I actually broke one just like this not too long ago. This is obsidian. The crystal kind of did its job and protected me, and it broke. So I had to get a new one because this is a witch's hat, which is so perfect. And it's just the cutest thing ever, and reminds me to connect with my magic, and or rather not helps me keep myself connected with it, and also gives me courage not to hide from it. A pretty recent purchase as well, this lovely wonderful piece of smoky quartz. Beautifully grounding. I have quite a few issues grounding myself. I'm always up in the clouds, and so holding this is so heavy, but such in a nice, lovely way that brings me back down to earth. So I also use this when I have to prepare for like a healing, or if I'm guiding someone through like a journey into the Akashic Records, or a shamanic journey. It's really helpful to have this nearby so I can make sure that I'm really channeling this energy into the physical realm. Otherwise, it doesn't really have much effect or consequence. Now I have 3 pieces of amethyst, which I'm going to show you, because I have a crystal grid on my bedside table, and I usually do it either for prosperity or for trust and self-confidence, and I use these 3 pieces of amethyst. Let me just show you, and I form a triangle with them, and on the middle I put a piece of rose quartz, which I'm going to show you in a second. So just shape it, in a triangle shape with this rose crystal, this rose quartz in the middle. The good thing about amethyst and rose quartz is that they're very flexible, they're very adaptable to whatever it is that you need. They tend to be used for self-love, healing, peace, relaxation, but spirituality as well. So there's a number of intentions that you can activate them with, but I'm particularly using, as I've mentioned, for a crystal grid to do usually with like strength and confidence, or prosperity and positive thinking. I have 2 pieces now of carnelian. One was gifted to me, another one I got, but I was pretty chuffed about them. And this one is perhaps one of the exceptions where I was actively seeking to buy a carnelian tumbler, because I wanted the energy element, and I needed the fire element as well. I wanted to bring that into my crystal collection, and I kept drawing. I'll show you later in one of the oracle decks, but one of the cards was carnelian, and it kept popping out time and time again. So I took it as a sign, and here they are. Now I have citrine. I believe that's the name. Another crystal that I like to use for prosperity, and I like that it's nice and small, because sometimes if I want, I can carry it with me. And pyrite or pyrite, I don't know. I can spell it in the screen so that you know what I'm talking about. Very good crystal to help you invite more money and connect with the frequency of money. And as a business owner, this is very important. Now, these are the last ones I have to show you, but I don't know their names. So if you do know them and their names, please let me know. One of them was gifted to me. It came when I bought another crystal, which I can't remember anymore which one it was. But the other ones I just bought because it looked pretty to me. So this one is the one that was gifted. It's a little heart. I'm not sure if you can see that. Hopefully you can. Let me be closer to the camera. I really loved it because it feels like it's connected with the throat chakra, communication, and I keep this near me in my desk because I do a lot of communicating. So whether that's me channeling messages or creating content and making sure that it resonates and that the message is the one that I want to share. And then these last two, which I do use very frequently, especially when I'm doing healings and I need to sort of access higher states of consciousness, because this one I activate it for a clear seeing. And this one, which is a lovely light shade of blue, keeps me connected with my spirit team. So I actually use these quite a lot to raise my vibration and help me regulate my nervous system so I can then access those higher frequencies, especially during soul retrievals and Akashic Records readings and healings. This is my crystal collection. Would love to know which one was your favorite. Leave a comment. Let's move into my the tools that I use for my shamanic healing and, well, energy healing sessions in general, because we were just talking about soul retrievals. So the first thing is that I do have a few more crystals that I use. One of them is this beautiful selenite wand that I tend to finish off the session, the healing session with, because it's just beautiful, beautiful white, bright energy that sends you and just involves you with this beautiful, loving vibration of peace and of, it's just very soothing, very, very lovely to wrap it all up, after you've released a lot on a healing session. Then I have a few crystal quartz pieces, which sometimes I use for candles that I make or just to help me on sessions. So I'm not sure if you can see, but they're just tiny points. So such as these. I sometimes use them because when we do shamanic extractions, which is basically the technique we use in or that I was taught within, my shamanic lineage, when we need to remove a blockage, we need to have a few of either crystals or, I also have some rocks here that I picked up on the beach to do that effect. Another thing that I use on my shamanic healing sessions is this beautiful rattle. I bought it in the UK. I really wanted to buy something local. I think that's very important. And it's just beautiful, the sound. I find it very soothing and grounding. Amazing tool to remove blockages and to clear your energy channels. And then the other tool that I use as part of my shamanic healing sessions is this beautiful feather, local as well. For these tools, it was really important that they came from this land where I live right now, and I'm based in the UK, and a beautiful tool to clear energy. I'm sure you've probably, if you've watched my other videos, I've used this here before, actually, the rattle and the wand as well. So if you'd like to see these in practice, go check that video out. But it's almost works as almost as if it's an extension of my body and my hands to really clear away negativity, break cords, and just get rid of, you know, all those things that are no longer serving their purpose. Let me put this away, and then I'll show you my deck collection, starting off with my classic Rider-Waite. This is actually not my first tarot deck. I was gifted one before, but those cards, they were very fancy, very beautiful, but they never worked for me. Maybe I need to reconnect with the deck again and do it a little bit better, because I was still very new to it, but it wasn't giving me anything. Whereas this one, yes, this is a very good tool, and the symbology, to me, it's you know, it's perfect, especially for someone that it's still new to tarot, which I am. I'm a lot more confident and comfortable with oracle decks, which is what I have more. But I'm learning tarot, and I find the symbology to be really helpful. So I'm sure you've seen, you know, these online is just your classic tarot deck, you know. Beautiful symbology, I think really helpful if you are new. Okay, and I will show you this one, which was the first oracle deck I ever got after I got a reading by a friend, and this is wonderful. It's very simple and very obvious. So if you're new, if you're starting now your path and you would like to tap into your intuition a little bit more, this is a great one to start off with, because it's beautiful. The messages are really uplifting, really positive. You know, sometimes if you use tarot, you are confronted with, I wouldn't say scary, because there's no such thing or good or bad in tarot, or anything really to do with spirituality. But you know, some of them might be a bit triggering, and these are, you know, they're a lot easier to take in, and especially if you're new and you're still grappling with, you know, trusting your intuition and learning to discern what the messages are. This is really beautiful, and the messages are quite easy to read. So just to give you a little bit of a look through those, like, I love this card, Birthing a New Age. So yeah, really beautiful messages to do with like answering your calling, or like this one, which is one of my favorite ones as well. When I get this, I'm happy. The Great Gathering. Really beautiful illustrations. This is the Work Your Light Oracle deck, and it's by Rebecca Campbell, which is, you know, a super well-known spiritual guide, and they're illustrated by Danielle and Noel. So I'm just gonna show you here, and I can leave them tagged as well in the description below, so if you'd like to purchase them, feel free to do so. Very good for, especially for beginners. I wouldn't consider myself to be a beginner anymore, but this is still very helpful, especially when I need a message that is a little bit easier to read. And I use these almost every day to understand what I need to know that day. So I draw 3 cards and I ask, what is it that I need to know? And then the 3 cards tell me usually, you know, a message or a story. I don't want this video to get too long, so I'll whiz past the the 3 other decks I've got. So this one is the Green Witches Oracle deck, which I bought when I started connecting a little bit more with my witchy side. If you don't know, I actually founded a coven for spiritual women. You don't have to necessarily identify as a witch yourself, but if you are on your healing journey and if you've been sort of walking this path alone, and you'd like some friends and people to connect with, then the coven is free. So I'll leave that in the link below as well, in case you'd like to know a bit more. Beautiful deck. I love this one. It's by, I didn't say, but it's by Erin Murphy Hiscock, and it's illustrated by Sarah Richard. And love this, especially when I need to read energy. I feel like the other one is better for insights, and this for the energy of something. So I draw sometimes 1 card a day just to understand the energy of the day a little bit more. But beautiful illustrations as well, and they are inspired by nature, which I absolutely love. Let me see if I can show you the one that showed up for me to get the that inspired me to get the carnelian. Let me just see if I can find it. Here we go. How pretty is that? I love this deck as well. I come back to it time and time again. Summer. One thing that I'm not such a fan of actually is the guide. So I normally don't reach for it, and I just use my intuition to understand the messages. Okay, so I'm saving my favorite for last. I mean, that's unfair to say because I love them all, but this one, the one that I'm saving for last, has a special place in my heart. Now, this is the Earth Alchemy Oracle, and these are cards to connect to the wisdom of plants and crystals by Katie Jane Wright, illustrated by Nikki Strange. And I like them because I am quite short and I have small hands, and these and the cards here are slightly smaller, so they fit perfectly in my hands, and they again are beautiful. Just look at this one. I tap into this as well quite a lot. It's beautiful to understand a bit more what you need to embody and what you need to release. So I feel like the lessons are powerful and really, really beautiful. And I do quite like the guide here as well. I love how it also says whether the card is inspired by, what element is behind the card, water, fire, earth, air. Let me just show you another one. Beautiful illustrations. And then last but not least is the Witch's Wisdom Tarot, which does say tarot. This one, this is heavy and massive. It does say tarot, but it doesn't feel to me like a tarot deck, not in the same way as the Rider-Waite. So I usually don't work with it as a tarot deck, because it does have a correspondence to tarot decks, but I feel like it's, I don't know, the energy is a little bit different. And I just like to rely on it and take the messages as is, as opposed to, trying to make correspondences and then it gets too complicated. I cannot explain to you how powerful this deck is, and it's always been right to me. It has with me. It has never failed me. It always seems to give me the messages that I need when I need them, and it's just a beautiful deck as well. So I actually drew cards today, and these were the ones that came out. I think you saw it probably earlier in the vlog. I would love to know what message do you think these are, but it was the 5 of Earth. Earth is Pentacle energy. The 7 of Earth, again, more Pentacle energy, and the 10 of Earth. So, yeah, I actually didn't notice this when I was reading, but there's a lot of Pentacle energy here, a lot of material, grounding, physical energy here. But yeah, I mean, beautiful, beautiful deck. And literally, it works every time. I love this one as well, which was at the bottom of the deck, remember earlier in the vlog. And let me just show you as well, like, so you see some of the cards do have an obvious connection with tarot, but some of them are unique, and they're just they just don't yeah, their energy is just different, but a beautiful, super powerful deck. So let me just show it to you. The Witch's Wisdom Tarot by Phyllis Curo, and artwork by Danielle Barlow. Can you see? I'll leave it linked as well in the description in case you're interested in purchasing any of these decks for yourself. That's it. Those were my crystals, my tools that I use for my healing sessions, and also all my oracle decks. I do oracle readings as well, by the way. It's something that I introduce as part of my services. So let me know if you'd like a reading for me or a healing from me. You can leave a comment, or you can just check my links. So you can also book through Instagram. Follow me on TikTok. And I also think that I left you the booking link in there too. So now I'm off to prepare a few more bits and finish a few pieces of content. I have a meeting today. I'm also going to see if I can join the yoga class today at 6 p.m. And that is probably my day done.